Right now, a look at new poll numbers in Wisconsin as we close in on the first debate between Vice President Harris and former President Trump tomorrow night.
Plus, a guide to tomorrow's presidential debate, how debates have shaped the past and what to look for from candidates.
And we hear from Domestic Abuse Intervention Services in Dane County, the warning signs to watch for and resources to get help.
You're watching News 3 now at 5.
Now, we do have breaking news into the newsroom. Within the past hour, actor James Earl Jones has died. Jones' agent confirmed his death this morning at home. Jones, widely known for voicing Darth Vader from Star Wars and also Mufasa in The Lion King. In his career, James Earl Jones won 2 Emmys, a Golden Globe, 2 Tony Awards, a Grammy, the National Medal of Arts, the Kennedy Center Honors, and was given an honorary Oscar and a special Tony for Lifetime Achievement. No word yet on a cause of death. James Earl Jones was 93 years old. In a little more than 24 hours, the 2 main presidential candidates will meet for a live televised debate, the first meeting between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump after Joe Biden dropped out of the race.
And it coincides with new poll numbers here in Wisconsin. Political reporter Will Keneally is here with the breakdown.
That's right. So this new Badger Battleground poll was released today in part with Platform Communications. Now, top line numbers for Wisconsin likely voters, it's similar to what we've seen in the past. Kamala Harris is up by a few points over Donald Trump, but still within the margin of error here. Now, there's a lot to the election still yet to go, says Brian Reisinger with Platform Communications.
I do think that we're going to see these numbers tighten generally at the presidential level. Kamala Harris leading by a little bit on down the ticket. You see Democrat advantages at various points throughout that poll. I think it's going to be tightening. Wisconsin tends to tighten as you get closer to Election Day because we are so evenly divided.
Now, one of the groups that we could be looking out for during tomorrow's debate as the race tightens are these double haters. Now, those are voters who disapprove of both Harris and Trump. Now, this new poll shows them backing Trump by a very wide margin here in Wisconsin. This is part of a week of polling here in Wisconsin. A new Marquette poll will be released after tomorrow's debate.
All right, Will, thank you. Gwen Walz, the First Lady of Minnesota and wife of Democratic Vice Presidential candidate Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, is returning to Wisconsin tomorrow. This time she'll be in La Crosse for a watch party of the debate. And although the location of that watch party has yet to be announced, the debate itself will be held at the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia at 8 p.m. our time.
The rules for this debate will be largely similar to the last debate between President Biden and Donald Trump. It will be 90 minutes long with 2 commercial breaks. Moderators David Muir and Lindsay Davis will be the only people asking questions. A candidate who repeatedly interrupts will receive a warning from a moderator, and both candidates' microphones may be muted if there is a lot of crosstalk so the audience can understand what's going on. After a coin flip, former President Donald Trump elected to give the closing statement.
Now, watching the debate, it can feel like a pretty big commitment, right? But debates have historically been critical to helping voters decide their preferred candidate.
Reporter Michael Yoshida has more on what to look for and how debates can shape an election.
Debates and their memorable moments historically are critical to candidates' successes and failures.
The 1980s are now calling to ask for their foreign policy back.
President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump's matchup changed the 2024 race entirely.
If we finally beat Medicare.
Now, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are facing off for the first time.
For the typical viewer who's watching this with some degree of how am I going to vote and I'm trying to inform myself, whereas Kamala Harris coming from on policy and personality, whereas Donald Trump coming from on policy and credibility.
Frank Sesno of George Washington University says even though theatrics often replace substance, when watching any political debate, voters should
listen closely to what these candidates say about the particulars of policy, how they would pay for them, what the implications are, how far they would reach, how they would implement them.
And note how the candidates respond to each other.
The interaction between the two of them will be very important. 1, for how they define themselves and they try to define the other. 2, how they deal with a difficult situation.
The debate should last around 90 minutes, which may seem like a big commitment, but Sesno says it's an investment every voter should make.
Who of these 2 candidates is saying something that will address the issues and the problems that I and my family are confronting, and who seems most credible and most relatable on that level?
Now, if you aren't able to watch the debate live, we will be offering a digital show at 7:30 with background and a 9:30 post-debate show to break down the memorable moments from the debate. Just head to channel3000.com to find that live stream.
And let's get a look at the firstborn forecast. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is live from the Clinky Cleaners on Monona Drive with the forecast and info on our Coats for Kids campaign.
Merrill, southern Wisconsin, we have been packing the truck all day this morning. Started off with Josh Sprider and meteorologist Savannah Brito. Look at what we've accumulated in our truck today, and all pun intended, talking about weather and accumulation. We've accumulated about 100 coats here in our Clinky Cleaners truck. You can bring those right down here to Monona Drive. We're live here until 6:30 p.m. You'll definitely want to join me during Maine weather, because I'm going to be talking to Taylor Jackson as part of the Boys and Girls Club. During our 4 o'clock newscast, we were doing an investigation of how many coats we have. Taylor's going to tell us a little bit more about the history behind the Boys and Girls Club and its connection to Clinky Cleaners and coats for kids. Now, you might be thinking on a day like today with temperatures up near 80 degrees, I'm not thinking about coats, but it's a beautiful evening to bring the coats down. It's not raining. It's a beautiful day across southern Wisconsin. But we have some really warm days ahead of us. Look at, by the time we get to Thursday of this upcoming week, temperatures approaching near 90 degrees, and those temperatures quick take a tumble back to the upper 70s. What's causing that 10 degrees swing over such a short period of time? We have a wet weather system on the way, folks, but it's coming from a unique direction. I'll explain in Maine weather. Back to you folks in the studio.
Following the death of UW-Whitewater gymnast Kara Welsh, experts say it's important to seek help if you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence.
And our Maddie Himes joins us now with some warning signs to look for and valuable resources to keep in mind. Maddie?
Yeah, Merrill, Eric, experts say one of the hardest parts about combating domestic violence and abuse is that it often goes unreported. Shannon Berry is the executive director of Domestic Abuse Intervention Services, or DAYS, here in Dane County. She says there is no age, race, gender, or status to domestic violence victims or perpetrators. But research shows that victims of color, victims with disabilities, and victims in the LGBTQ+ community are least likely to report their experiences.
Domestic violence and intimate partner violence are particularly underreported, and people don't really disclose because there's a lot of shame about it. So the reality is every single one of us in this community knows somebody who's been touched by this issue or who is currently dealing with this issue. They may just not have disclosed to us.
If you think someone you know is experiencing abuse, there are warning signs to look out for. They include social withdrawal and isolation, major personality changes, and defense of their partner's unhealthy actions. DAYS in Dane County offers a 24-hour helpline, support groups, shelter, and legal advocacy. All services are 100% confidential and available right now on channel3000.com.
Maddie, thank you. About 3,000 U.S. men are expected to be diagnosed with prostate cancer this year, according to the estimates from the American Cancer Society. And the organization says more patients are now learning they have the disease in the late stages. After decades of decline, late-stage prostate cancer cases are on the rise. The American Cancer Society says more than 35,000 men will die from the disease this year. Despite tools to screen for it, experts believe it's due to misconceptions about the invasiveness of the screenings process.
A rectal exam is not actually needed. So I think that's an important thing to know. A simple blood test can help indicate your risk of prostate cancer.
The American Cancer Society says rates of prostate cancer diagnosis are about 70% higher in black men than white men. The organization says screening is critical because once this disease spreads beyond the prostate, it becomes much more difficult to treat.
The Biden-Harris administration is implementing new requirements for health plans to ensure that mental health is covered. Now, the level of coverage would be similar to physical health services that people receive with regular insurance. Deputy Assistant to the President for Health and Veteran Affairs, Kristen Link-Young, says the administration is making an effort to fill vacancies that exist in U.S. mental health care.
We are really proud to be delivering these new rules that are going to ensure that starting January 1st, 2025, just in a few months here, your insurance company is taking the steps it needs to provide access to mental health services. So we are expecting to see changes in health plans this coming winter, and those will continue in the years to come. And so everybody across the country is guaranteed that benefit in their health insurance coming up here in just a few months.
Well, the new mental health care requirements with insurance should take place sometime around the start of 2025.
Parenting is one of the most rewarding yet difficult jobs there are, so much so that the Surgeon General released an advisory declaring parental parental mental health and urgent public health issue. 33% of parents reported high stress levels compared to 20% of other adults. UW health psychologist Shyla Murgain says it's important because when it's severe, it can have a harmful effect on parents as well as children.
Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is back next. A complete check of your first warn forecast.
And a report from the FBI highlights the massive amount of fraud connected to the cryptocurrency in the U.S. The story just ahead.
Wall Street, the market's off to a strong start to the week. A 484-point climb for the Dow. The Nasdaq jumps 194. S&P adds almost 63. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, brought to you by Cardinal Heating and Air Conditioning.
The kindness, the efficiency, the respect was amazing.
From start to finish, they will take care of you.
I never hesitate with family, friends, neighbors to recommend Cardinal, and nobody has come back to me and said I was wrong.
I'm Matt, and I'm a former Trump voter. One of my biggest beefs with Donald Trump is that with him, anybody who doesn't agree with him is a radical, is a lunatic, is a leftist, a Marxist, a communist, somebody out to destroy America. I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris because I don't want to live in a world that's all about hatred and retribution and getting even with your neighbors and getting rid of people who are different from me.
Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When replacing your windows, you want them to be built by the best and backed by the best. That's what you'll get with replacement windows only available from Renewal by Andersen. When you choose Renewal by Andersen at Wanakee Remodeling, you're not getting a one-size-fits-all product. From design and sales to manufacturing, installation, and service, we own the entire process. This month, buy 2 windows, get the third 60% off, plus 12 months no-interest financing when you purchase 3 or more windows. Visit WanakeeRemodeling.com for more details.
Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote that created America's inflation.
The vice president votes in the affirmative, and the bill is passed.
Economists said Harris's vote led directly to the higher prices we pay. 22% more for groceries, 50% more for gas. Mortgage costs nearly double. Thanks a lot, Kamala. Trump had our economy humming. He'll do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Right now, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. So when you purchase your new concrete coating, you get a $60 Visa gift card plus either 60% off installation or 60-month no-interest financing. This is one of our best deals of the year, so visit our website or call the number for your new floor today.
I'm not old enough to vote yet, but I learned how 1 out of 6 of us will someday be raped.
So please, think about me when you vote.
I learned how our freedom to have an abortion was taken away.
Even in cases of rape or incest. Even to travel to get an abortion.
You know who got rid of Roe v. Wade.
When you vote, please think about me.
Because the politician who got rid of Roe v. Wade, he couldn't care less.
So the reality is every single one of us in this community knows somebody who's been touched by this issue.
UW-Whitewater's shocking murder puts domestic violence in the spotlight. We'll explore the warning signs and what you can do if a loved one is in a dangerous situation. That's tonight at 6.
The most important part of my job is to make sure that our public, our community is safe, and also to educate the public on weather. We're the certified most accurate team in town for forecasting, so that forecast has to be ready when you walk in the door. Always first, always accurate.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Wisconsin Patrol says a key route in Rock County is back open after a weekend fire. It happened in Orfordville along Route 213, and it shut down a 2-mile stretch off the highway around Haefman Road in both directions. Again, the State Patrol has since told us that Route 213 is back open. No word yet on any details about the nature of how the fire that started has been released.
Well, if you regularly travel in Middleton along Parmenter Street near Paul's Neighborhood Bar and across from Clark Street School, you may need a detour. The roundabout will be closing tomorrow morning at about 6. Should be wrapped up by Wednesday at 4. Alternate route recommendations are to take University over to Deming and then Nursery Drive turn on Century Avenue and get back on Parmenter. Take Park Street off University Avenue.
The FBI has released a report saying victims reported more than $5.6 billion in fraud related to cryptocurrency in 2023. That's 45% increase from LOS's report in 2022. The overall increase in fraud was fueled by a jump into crypto-related investment scams. Victims reported nearly $4 billion in crypto-related investments losses in 2023, compared to $2.57 billion in 2022. An FBI official said that this is the first time the agency has published a report explicitly focused on crypto-related fraud from a larger set of annual fraud data.
Time now for a look at your complete First Warn forecast. Alex Harrington's live at Clinky Cleaners. We're starting off coats for kids. And First Warn forecast time, Alex.
Eric, we've accumulated, all pun intended, when you think of the weather, accumulation, weather, we've accumulated upwards of at least 100 coats here at the Monona Drive Clinky Cleaners. Today we started earlier this morning as part of our morning newscast with Josh and with Savannah, and we've got a bin that's filled up here. I'm also joined with Taylor Jackson as part of the Boys and Girls Club, because we can't do this alone here at Channel 3. Taylor, can you tell us the connection between the Boys and Girls Club and Clinky Cleaners and Coats for Kids?
Absolutely. So we're super excited to be a part of Coats for Kids. Clinky Cleaners has generously agreed to serve as our partner collecting these coats. You see their truck here and at their locations. And then cleaning them up for us if we have any gently used items to make sure that they're ready to go out to our community. So we're really excited to get to play this part in collecting coats and then getting them out to the families and the youth who need them the most.
Yeah, and we were saying earlier in our 4 o'clock newscast, we did our own count and we're at least upwards of 100 coats donated today, just at this location.
Absolutely, yes. We're super excited to have all of these donations rolling in.
And we were talking offline too. We take Clinky Cleaners will take the coats and they clean them up and then they distribute those to kids that may need a coat, correct?
Yes, exactly, yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for giving us a little bit of the background behind the connection between the Boys and Girls Club and Clinky Cleaners and Coats for Kids. We're still taking these donations live here until 6:30, but our cause continues all the way until October 5th. And our goal is 5,000 coats. We'll go over that goal if we can do it. Well, and speaking of gold, I think this is goal-like weather across southern Wisconsin right now. It really cannot get better than this for September. Temperatures right up near 80. We were just talking, Taylor and I, we've got a nice little breeze coming through here. So you may not be thinking, well, this isn't really cold weather. It was this weekend. It's a great evening to come on down and donate coats if you still can yet here between now and 6:30. But we got some not coat weather on the way to southern Wisconsin. Our hottest day of this week is going to approach on Thursday. You'll see just how warm we're going to get here in a moment. The dry weather's going to stick around for a while. But we do have a weather system I was mentioning in First Weather that's coming from a really unique direction that's going to bring some rain chances to southern Wisconsin. All part of the 3 things that you need to know. Current conditions here in Madison, we've got 78 degrees. Winds out of the west-northwest at 6 upwards of 10 miles per hour when you get a little bit of a gust in. Humidity levels are very comfortable here across southern Wisconsin. Planning your evening, 6 o'clock tonight, about 76 degrees. I plan to take a walk right around 7:30. Jacob's going to take over and do the 10 o'clock newscast tonight when you join us. Pretty mild in the middle 60s. Overnight low temperatures will do 54 degrees here in Madison. Watch our temperatures climb up into the upper 70s to lower 80s again Tuesday afternoon. 82 in Boscoville, 80 in the Dells, and 82 in Janesville, and warmer as we go into Tuesday night. That warm air continuing to push towards southern Wisconsin. We'll see low temperatures right around 60 degrees to start off Wednesday. And then those high temperatures go up into the mid to upper 80s. This weekend, temperatures in the upper 70s. And the reason why we're going to be in the upper 70s, we've got shower chances, all because of the remnants, the leftovers of Tropical Storm Francine. Join us again here for End Weather. We'll show the 10-day forecast live in Monona. Clinky Cleaners, Alex Harrington, back to you.
Alex, thank you. And as he mentioned, the Pack the Truck campaign has been officially kicked off. It's happening from now until Saturday, October 5th. So you have plenty of time to donate at the Clinky Cleaners if you can't make it today. For those who want to donate but don't have a coat to contribute, visit channel3000.com.
And still to come, a rare triple transplant, how it works and how one patient is doing 6 months later. His story next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll do it with new ideas to make middle-class life more affordable. New caps on the price of medicine. New investments in clean energy to bring down costs for families. And while Trump will cut taxes for the super rich, she'll cut taxes for the rest of us. A stronger middle class. A future we can afford. Climate Power Action and FFPAC are responsible for the content of this ad.
Like a bowl of cherries, life in Attic Angel is healthy and sweet. Our independent and assisted living lifestyles include newly renovated apartments, engaging social activities, and wellness support that is tailored to you. As time marches on, we promote the idea that life can always be a bowl of cherries. Attic Angel Community, the house that angels built.
Gas, groceries, school supplies, everything costs more. Eggs are almost twice as much as they were 4 years ago. Biden, Harris, and the Democrats keep telling us things are better. They aren't better. And Tammy Baldwin is making it worse. Raising taxes, running up debt, voting for spending that's driving inflation. 25 years in Washington and she's done nothing. It's time for a change.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Get an 11% rebate on your next painting project at Menards. Pittsburgh Ultra Interior Paint and Primer in 1 provides a durable, washable finish. Grab a gallon of Ultra Interior Paint starting at $16.88 after rebate. Give your walls the best finish with Pittsburgh's Paramount Interior Paint. It provides the most advanced protection, true one-coat coverage, and excellent scrubbability. A gallon starts at $39.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm not old enough to vote yet, but I learned how 1 out of 6 of us will someday be raped.
So please, think about me when you vote.
I learned how our freedom to have an abortion was taken away.
Even in cases of rape or incest. Even to travel to get an abortion.
Please think about me.
You know who got rid of Roe v. Wade.
Now women are being refused life-saving care at hospitals.
And politicians are trying to ban birth control.
Please, think about me.
My parents call me their miracle daughter because I was born with IVF. But IVF could be banned too.
Do they think we're less than human?
Do they think we can't make decisions about our own bodies? About our own lives? When you vote, please think about me.
And me.
And me.
Because the politician who got rid of Roe v. Wade, he couldn't care less.
Watching News 3 Now at 5. Moving forward.
There was a very special Grandparents' Day this weekend for a patient who had a rare triple organ transplant this year.
Michael George has his story.
Don Elliott is grateful for moments like this with his grandchildren after what he's been through.
I've been sick for quite a while. In the last year, it really went bad. I had a liver failure, kidney failure, and the lungs weren't very good.
The 64-year-old suffered from a rare genetic disease that over years led to damage of multiple organs. After months of testing, doctors at the Cleveland Clinic decided to do a triple organ transplant, double lung, liver, and kidney.
I wanted to be here for my wife and my grandkids.
Surgeon Dr. Sameep Segal says this type of triple organ transplant is extremely rare, with only 4 ever done in the United States.
The big considerations are, is the patient strong enough to go through this and through the recovery? Also family support, social support, because the recovery process can take weeks and months.
The surgery took 24 hours.
3 different teams, the surgical team for the lungs, the surgical team for the kidney and the liver. All the organs were from the same donor.
Don had a very difficult recovery, needing to be on life support and spending weeks in the ICU.
It was rough, but I wasn't going to give up.
More than 6 months later, he's doing great.
My oxygen's up to 104%. I'm moving around. I've been in physical rehab. My lungs are filling. It's just amazing. I can breathe. I'm chasing the grandkids around.
Grateful for the gifts of life he received from a stranger and for more time with the people he loves. Michael George, CBS News.
Don hopes to someday meet the family of the person who donated and saved his life.
And we'll be right back. Final check of your first foreign forecast after a short break.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde insulted Wisconsin seniors.
Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
What a jerk. He attacked those who are overweight.
Fine, you want to do that? Your health care is going to cost more.
How insulting is that?
He called farmers lazy.
Look at the old physical toil. Now you're largely driving around a tractor.
This guy doesn't have a clue.
Eric Hovde has insulted just about everyone.
What's wrong with this guy?
Fall is just around the corner. Let the experts at Feldco get your home ready for the cooler temps ahead. Right now, buy one window, get one free. Plus, no interest for 3 years.
Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Create your perfect room for entertaining, relaxing, and more with patio enclosures. Right now, get 25% off your sunroom. Plus, enjoy exceptional financing. Call today.
Patio enclosures.
I was a Kamala Harris supporter. That changed after an illegal alien murdered my son, running him over, then driving back and forth over Drew's body 3 times. The man who killed my son had been arrested previously, but Kamala Harris let him go. As San Francisco's DA, Kamala was soft on crime. As a senator, she supported releasing criminal aliens back into our neighborhoods. Kamala Harris is dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor. And the potential to take you anywhere. It's Chevy truck season. Get 1.9% financing, plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote that created America's inflation.
The vice president votes in the affirmative, and the bill is passed.
Economists said Harris's vote led directly to the higher prices we pay. 22% more for groceries, 50% more for gas. Mortgage costs nearly double. Thanks a lot, Kamala. Trump had our economy humming. He'll do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Coming up tonight on the CBS Evening News, thousands evacuated as wildfires scorch the West, burning more than 2 million acres. What we know about the efforts to try and contain the blaze and the warning of record heat. We've got that and more headlines tonight ahead on the CBS Evening News.
The closing ceremony for the Paralympic Games was held yesterday in Paris. Although it was a rainy day, thousands of people showed up to watch athletes from 169 delegations parade through the Stade de France. French musician Jean-Michel Jarre and DJ Martin Solveig performed at the event, followed by a magnificent light show and firework display, marking the end of the Games.
What a summer it was in Paris. Let's do a final check. Alex Harrington at the Clinky Cleaners location in Monona. A last look at weather. Alex?
Yeah, Eric and Merrill, Southern Wisconsin just had a big donation here moments ago. We have well over 100 coats have been donated here just at this Clinky Cleaners location alone. Again, our Coats for Kid cause goes all the way until October 5th, where we're looking to get upwards of 5,000 coats if we can get there. I hope we can get up and above that. And speaking going up, the temperatures are going to be going up in our 10-day forecast. Just take a peek at how warm Thursday is going to get, upwards of 90 degrees across Southern Wisconsin. Temperatures will take a tumble by the the time we get to the weekend, but still mild for this time of year. And the reason why is it's the remnants of Tropical Storm Francine that'll bring southern Wisconsin the chance for a couple of showers on Sunday, although we're not expecting widespread heavy rain or thunderstorms at this point with the remnants of Francine. Just a couple of showers. Following that weather system, those temperatures warm back up into the lower 80s by day and the lower 60s by night. So through the 10-day period here after that cool weekend we had, we're right back to summer-like temperatures in southern Wisconsin. Bring your coats down here to the Clinky Cleaners on Monona Drive location. Back to you, Eric and Merrill in the studio for the end of the news.
We are just getting started with Coats for Kids. Also go to channel3000.com as well. They've got a way to donate money. Also do our Amazon wish list. We'll be back in 30 minutes for news.